Hello, welcome back to my channel, and if you are new, welcome for the first time. I am going to be doing another full face of first impressions. I have enough stuff that I can probably do a couple more of these, so give this video a thumbs up if you like these kind of videos from me. And let's see, I've only used this once. I got a couple of things from Flower Beauty. I have a primer that I think I used it once or twice, so a bunch of newish stuff. So yeah, that's an interesting. Stick around. Again, make sure you're subscribed, and let's jump into the video. Okay, so I just got back. I went with my husband to take our 5-year-old to school. He's doing work at his parents'. He took the little ones with him. So it's early, so I'm tired. But let's see. I'm just checking my moisturizer. I did all my skincare earlier. I want to make sure it's soaked in enough so we're not going to have too much slipping. But I have a bunch of stuff from Senegence, like the makeup scents. They do lip scents. That's mostly what they're known for, is their lip products. But I am a distributor. I mainly signed up for the discount, so I will leave my link down below. But they do sell, I forgot that I had this. It's a silk. It's called Silk. It's a pore minimizing smoothing primer type of thing. So I'm going to try it and see how this works, because I have not found one that I like as much as my Urban Decay one that got discontinued. So I've been trying. There was some goop in the pump, but I'm going to put this on. This is a pretty good, like, smoothing primer from what I can remember. I haven't used their stuff that I have in a while, and none of their stuff is bad. I think it's a little bit on the pricier side for, like, the amount of product that you get, but their stuff does work. I like a lot of their makeup just because it's waterproof. That was the main reason I tried it out, but they're not the only, like, waterproof stuff if you're looking for that kind of thing. But like I said, I'll leave my link down below. But we're going to try this again because I forgot that I have this. And if this is a good smoothing primer, I might as well use it since I have it. Kind of a deal. I've been trying to go through my primers since I lost my Urban Decay one. That rose hip one was one of the best, like, smoothing primers I tried. And I mainly just do my T-zone because this is where, like, my texture kind of is. And then I'll go in. I want to see how it plays with my Becca. This is the backlight, the original one. I like this over smoothing. I bought a second one right before the company went out of business. I will probably replace this with the Charlotte Tilbury one when I run out, but that'll be a while because this should last me like a year and a half. I have the e.l.f. version. I have heard the Charlotte Tilbury one is better, so I will probably get that one when this one is gone. I've used this one for years. It's a little bit thicker of a consistency. It has kind of a lotiony appearance, so this does have a little bit of smoothing in it, and then it gives you that glow, which in theory can kind of help give you a smoother appearance sometimes. And then I've always layered it on top of I used to layer it on top of the Urban Decay one, so we'll see how it plays with that one. So far I'm not having any pilling, so that's nice. Another one that I've been trying to use since I have it is the No Problem primer from Touch and Soul. This product I think still exists, so I might be able to, you can see how much I've used. This came in a boxy charm. I might be able to get another one of those too, but if, like I said, the Silk one seems like it's working. We'll see how it looks with makeup. I just forgot to get out. I'm going to use a little bit of the e.l.f. gripping on just on my nose because that is where I have a problem with makeup kind of adhering. So I'm going to go in just with a thin layer. I feel like this got a little goopy on me when I used it the last time, but I don't think I smoothed it out enough because there was a spot on my nose, it looked like it was this kind of collected, like I hadn't smoothed it all out, and then the foundation like stuck to it. So we'll see. I don't know how I feel about this. This gets very, very sticky. I had a couple of you tell me you really like this. I think maybe it might just because it is so sticky and it's new. I've never really used a gripping primer like that, so I think I'm just having a hard time figuring out how best to use it. But I like it in this area where I have a hard time with foundation adhering. So we're gonna go in with the Fenty Pro Filter. This is the hydrating longwear one. I really like the matte one that comes in a glass bottle. I got this through BoxyCharm. It was one of their like deals, and I figured I would pick it up. I think they're in the process of discontinuing it, which is probably why BoxyCharm got some. Just gonna squirt out like half a pump and we'll see. But like I said, I really like their other one, and I did get that through BoxyCharm too. That one, it kind of seemed like people either loved it or they didn't, and I have dry and dehydrated skin. I live in the desert in Arizona where it's pretty dry all year. We do get some humidity in the summer, but not like what they get in the South and in Texas. And that seems to hold up pretty well. I've only used this once. It seemed fine when I used it. We'll go in with another like half. So another little dot amount. But I seem to be in the minority as far as stuff that I like. A lot of the stuff I like tends to not be what's popular. I remember that happening with Tarte. I really liked their hydrating, I think it was the face tape. They've discontinued it. That foundation does not exist anymore, but that was one of my favorites. I should have gotten probably a backup. I ended up taking like the stopper out of mine and just really getting every little bit out of that when I was on my last amount. But that was one where a lot of people just did not get on with that. So just because I like it doesn't mean that most people like it. But like I said, this seems like it's fine. And again, I'm using a brush. I'm not using a sponge. The coverage level is going to be different. I'm using such a small amount, I figured a brush would be okay. Makeup sponges, for some reason, and it could be because I'm getting a little bit older, it just seems like it lifts the foundation instead of pressing it into the skin really well. I'm probably not wringing the sponges out enough. And I'm gonna move you briefly and just squeeze this back in here so I don't end up with a bunch of junk on my desk, because I always end up with junk on my desk. Okay. And I don't have my ring light on behind you. Usually I do. You'll have to let me know how this lighting is. I've been noticing that I'm a little bit washed out, so I'm trying to find a good combination. So you'll have to let me know how it is without the ring light. I'll put you right there so you can see better. Okay. Let's try contour first. I have this one from Flower Beauty, and I have heard that you need to work in sections with this because it dries. Okay, so we got some out. Let me get this little brush that I normally like to use. I'll do like that. Yeah, all the people that didn't like it just said that it dried down too fast. The people that did like it said the formula was nice. You just got to work it in sections. So that's what we're going to do here. I don't know if I need more than that. Let's try that. These ones where you squeeze, I don't want to squeeze out too much and have this get, this is going to get goopy fast. It's blending out nice, and I don't have a problem working in sections like I'm doing. I ended up doing this in the last video with the Made by Mitchell one that I used, just because I wasn't sure. I don't think that one dries down anywhere near what this one does. But I wasn't sure. It is a nice formula, and I think it does look nice on the skin. So yeah, I can see like if it was drying on you too fast. Obviously that's not desired, but I think that looks pretty. So yeah, that's the trick. Let's close this. Definitely do like I did, just squirt a little bit, blend it out, go on to the next. And then I just took the leftover off the brush down my jaw. So yeah, not bad. We'll go in with a little bit of cream blush before I do concealer. I have another one from Flower Beauty. This one's, I forgot to say, I think I'm in light on this contour wand, and then this blush is in the shade Cheeky. I'm just gonna squirt some on the back of my hand, maybe that much, and then I'll go in with my brush off of my hand. I remember when these came out, but I don't remember what people were saying about them. So it's definitely got some pigment. I'm gonna go in with concealer too, so, and powder. So this is gonna get toned down a little bit. It's definitely got some pigment. It seems like a nice formula. I said I don't really hear anybody talking about these anymore. I do remember when the product launched, but I couldn't tell you what people said. It's not disrupting anything underneath. Like the foundation seems like it's fine. Granted, I don't have any powder, like it's not going on top of powder. It seems like it would be okay on top of powder. Like it's not a super liquidy. I don't know that I would squirt this directly onto my face, but taking it from my hand seemed like it was fine. Obviously I got more on this side than this side. Because I am going to go in with powder, I'll kind of even things out a little bit with some powder, maybe just a smidgen. A little bit goes a long way. Try and match depth levels. Let's see, and it didn't like stain or anything, so we'll see. Like I said, it didn't move anything around underneath, so that part is nice. And then concealers, I don't have another new one to test yet. I did order one from NYX. I think I got the Can't Stop, Won't Stop, Bethany Frankel recommended that. She claimed that that was the best concealer out of all the ones that she tried. So I did get it from Walmart, so that is coming, but I'm just going to use my favorite one, which is the Item Beauty. I am trying to find a replacement for it because my shade doesn't exist. I wear it in 110. They do still sell shade 100, and then there is shade 200, so theoretically I could get those two and mix them, but like it's not a great shade range, and I don't know why they stopped selling the 110. It's like, because this came from BoxyCharm, it's like they made shade 110 just for the box. It was available at Sephora, the 110 shade, but they sold out relatively early. This was before the brand even got pulled. I don't know. It's annoying to me. I feel like I shouldn't have to buy two concealers and mix them. I find that happens a lot, especially if the brand is smaller, because obviously it's expensive to make every shade. So like Essence, a lot of their concealers, they don't have a ton of shades. Whereas a brand like Too Faced, who can afford to be a little more inclusive, like they're going to have a larger shade range. I've just noticed it with the drugstore type brands and small, like Item Beauty is I would consider a smaller brand. Okay, but it works really well. I don't have to put a color corrector, and I don't have a ton of creasing from it. It just makes me sad because I feel like that's a brand that's like gonna go away, unfortunately. Like I could see Item Beauty going out of business just because it is an influencer brand. They got pulled out of Sephora. I'm just putting some things back. So it's unfortunate. Okay, for powder, I'm gonna go in with the Rimmel Stay Matte. And then I have an e.l.f., my Halo Glow, which is not a new product, but it kind of seems like it got like repackaged a little bit. I'm gonna get a powder brush out too. So we're gonna go in with just a puff. I'm gonna go into my T-zone first, and then I'll take it on the rest of my face. I'm somebody, I feel like I need to set my whole face. I probably don't need to because of how dry my skin runs, but I'm a creature of habit. I don't like the feeling of anything tacky on my face, so I prefer it just to set everything. And then I was watching a video by a makeup artist. She said to give your concealer a minute, kind of let it set, go in and re-pat it out, and then set it. She was saying, like, if you're a little bit older and you set it too soon, it can cause more creasing because the concealer is meant to dry down. And if it, like, it's going to dry down weird, I guess, if it's set too soon. So her recommendation, if you had fine lines, was to put the concealer on like I did, kind of let it hang out for a minute, go in, re-pat it out, and then put powder. So I've been trying to do that, see if it makes a difference. Okay, so I'm going to take a little bit on a brush. Emily Noel has recommended this powder. I think just because it's one of those where you can get it up with a brush, but it doesn't, like a ton of product doesn't come off, so you're not getting overly powdered. And then I was going to take a little bit of the Halo Glow just as like a finishing powder. I have some, left over. Kind of put some glow back in. I will say the thing I found with this is you do not go in with like a wet sponge and try and set stuff. I made the mistake. This powder doesn't play well, but just a powder puff or a brush is fine. Just want a little bit of that kind of glow blurring put back in. Okay, I'm gonna do my eyebrows off camera and then we'll finish up the rest of it. Okay, I'm just gonna let my face dry for just a second. I sprayed it with just some of the ABH, the illuminating one. I did order the NYX marker pen for your eyebrows. I don't have a lot of eyebrow naturally. If you've been around on my channel, you know this. I've been watching Angelica Nyquist, and she doesn't have a lot either, and she's able to get like the fluffy brow look. I've been watching her, and that's what I've seen her use, so I did order that. So I am going to try to do the fluffy brow. I had one of you comment that I still do like the block brow, and I don't think she was meaning like to be mean in any way. I do. I'm a creature of habit. I've been doing this for a long time, and it's hard when you don't have a good foundation, especially like that kind of a trend, to completely change. So I did order that, so I am going to try, because I do have the ABH, like their brow glue that comes in the pot. I do have that, so I am going to try. So hopefully when that comes, I just feel like that might be a little bit easier for me instead of my pencils, while as fine as they are, I think are still too thick. So I think the brow, that marker thing will help. So that is coming. Okay. For contour, I'm going to go in with this Profusion Duo. This is a highlight and bronzer duo, and I'm going to use the highlighter out of this. It doesn't have anything on it. This came in my advent calendar, but they do sell like contour and highlight palettes at the drugstore. Just not maybe this particular little duo. I haven't looked at their face stuff a lot recently. So we're going to go in with a little bit of this. If I used this, I think I used it once. So I figured we're just going to layer some stuff up. You can still kind of see that blush through. I figured the powder would kind of subdue, but the nice thing with using creams and then powders, you're going to get some longevity. I was really like resistant to the cream trend just because I thought like it was silly to layer products up, but from like a makeup artist standpoint, you are going to get more longevity because you are layering stuff together. And I'm just going to contour, same powder, my nose just a little bit. And then I do have I like to go in with a matte, either contour or bronzer, and then I layer it with a little bit of a shimmery one. I kind of blend it out with the more shimmery one. That's a pro tip, and that's just the way I like to do it. I've taken some makeup classes, and I used to do freelance. So I'm going to go in, this is the e.l.f. Bronzed and Peach. This is supposed to be a dupe for the NARS Laguna, and I don't know if this is a dupe for the Orgasm blush. I do have that. I'm not going to use the blush out of here today, but I do remember this supposedly being a dupe for the NARS bronzer. I have the blush. I don't have that bronzer, and I found this I think at Marshall's. So we're just going to use it. It's been sitting in the back of my drawer, so I figured I would try it. And then for blush, it's Down Boy from The Balm. I know I've swatched this. I don't know if I've ever actually used this on my face. It's like a pinkier. I wanted more of a pinky blush today. We're going to take it up. I figured that Flower Beauty one was a little on the pinkier side, so we'll go in with this one. I think is slightly mauvier than the liquid, but that is all right. I tend to wear, I think, a pinkier blush anyway a lot of the time. I just tend to gravitate more towards shimmery ones. This one's definitely matte, but trying new things here today. And then normally I would go in with highlighter first and then the blush, just because I feel like I get a better blend when I go in that order. But because, where did my highlighter brush go? I think it's like drifting to the back of the cup here. Because I went matte, I figured we could maybe go in with the highlighter. I'm just going to use the highlighter out of that duo second, and this might bring a little shimmer back in. Take it up. I have such a small face. Sometimes I feel like the highlighter can overtake if I go in too much. And that may be why I do glowy with glowy, because like I said, I just feel like I get a better blend. I don't want it to look like a strip of highlighter down my face. But I think that looks all right. Just kind of work it in a little bit. Okay. Let me put some sort of lip something on and we'll finish up. Okay, and I just put some Clinique Black Honey, that tinted lip balm on. So this is the finished face. My under eyes look pretty good, so I think that, at least with that concealer, that hack seems to be working. So if you're somebody that struggles with creasing, try that. Kind of let it hang out, pat it out, and then set it. My face doesn't look super powdery. I've been having some issues with texture kind of on my skin. It doesn't look horrible to me, but overall I think everything looks nice. You'll have to let me know what you thought of the products that I used. Do you have any of them? Do you use them? Do you not like them? Do you like them? If there's stuff that, like that gripping primer, how do you get on with it? Do you like it? That sort of thing. I'm going to do eyes in a separate video. But yeah, thank you for sitting and hanging out with me. Again, make sure you are subscribed if you're not already. That way you can come back. And yeah, hopefully you guys have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you in another video very, very soon. Bye, everybody.